if you can tell by how many moves I had in my adult life, you might be able to tell that I lived in a lot of chaos for a really long time. I had some really good experiences when I was in Melbourne, but a lot of instability, a ton of chaos, a lot of ups and downs. It was very tumultuous for me in a lot of ways. And when I decided to stop doing that to my life and to give myself some balance, I realized that for me, that would also be taking a break from relationships. Because in the past, I've tended to kind of get lost in my relationships, to get very caught up in the romance. And when I moved to Denver, I really just wanted to focus on building a stable life for myself. And that's what I've done.
Welcome to The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on. I'm Claire.
And I'm Janice. We are breakup coaches, here to help you beat your breakup,
heal your broken heart,
and move on to an amazing, abundant life.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode. Today, we're doing a Get to Know You episode. We personally enjoy it when podcasts we've listened to all the time do this, where we get to learn a little bit more about the hosts. So we're hoping that you'll enjoy this too, and hopefully we're not too full of ourselves to believe that. But if you aren't interested in a more laid back episode where we're basically talking about ourselves,
well, we thought it would be a fun holiday thing to do as well, something kind of light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is more of a, sometimes we throw in episodes that are more like entertaining, get your mind off of things.
Yeah,
this is one of those.
And we've been now dropping episodes coming up a year. And so it might be fun to let everyone know a little bit more about us, other than the fact that we're breakup coaches and that we've been through some crazy breakups. There's more to this.
There's more to it. I love that.
If one of us particularly sparks your interest and you like to work with us to beat your breakup, hit us up on Instagram. And just so everyone knows, closer to the end of December, closer to the holiday, we'll be doing a 12-day series that is designed to help anyone who is struggling this time of year, especially if this is your first breakup or if this is your first holiday season after your breakup.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
So stay tuned for that. We're not sure exactly what we're calling it yet, but we are working on that series. So yeah, if you liked our no contact series, definitely you're going to like this one. And if you haven't heard about our no contact series, scroll back. We have 10 days of advice, affirmation, and just like really short, quick reminders that you can use on the daily to help you get through your first or just another 10 days of no contact.
Join the 10-day no contact challenge. It is there for you whenever you need help going no contact.
Yeah,
check it out.
Awesome. So shall we get into it?
Yes. So we have questions for each other. We have questions that our audience has sent us, and we have general things that we wanted to talk about and that we thought were interesting. So let's dive in. First of all, let's talk about our astrological signs.
Yeah, because it's like, before we dive deeper, right? Isn't it good to just like give everyone basically the keys to our personalities?
Yes. So I have so many friends who are into astrology, and because I'm really into witchy things, I'm around it a lot, but I don't know that much about it. It's not my thing, quote unquote. But I think that you are pretty interested in it, right, Claire?
Yeah, I'm definitely no expert, but I am interested in it. And I just read because Janice didn't know her rising and her moon sign yet. And now I'm like, oh my God, things make so much sense.
So what is your sign, Claire?
So I'm a sun sign Gemini.
Okay.
Moon is Aquarius. And rising is Pisces. So yeah, I've got, some emotionality in there, and some like Aquarius is like you're a weirdo who doesn't fit in, basically.
Oh, okay. So that's
I
a good
mean,
thing.
but you don't care about it,
Okay.
honestly. And then Gemini. So I'm like emotional with multiple personalities, basically.
Okay.
If
All
you're
right.
gonna like really, really dumb it down. Um, yeah. And
So I
you?
I was born in early May, so that makes me a Taurus. And what I don't really know what this means, but
Yeah.
I'm a rising Sagittarius,
Okay.
and my sun is moon. Okay, so that's because
Yeah.
that's when I was born. And
Or
wait,
yeah,
my
your sun
sun
is
is
Taurus
Taurus. Okay, let's
and your
start that over.
moon is
Is
Aries.
Aries. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm rising Sagittarius, sun Taurus, moon Aries.
Yeah. And so like your moon is like your internal like life.
Mm-hmm.
And Aries is like fiery
Ooh.
and self-starter. I think that's like the first of the zodiac. So you're kind of like you begin things. And that's kind of like your internal life. And then the rising is like how other people perceive you.
Okay.
And so like Sagittarius, I don't know much about, but I know it's like the explorer sign. So you're kind of like you're going off on your own. And I mean, as people will learn about Janice,
That makes
that
sense.
rings very true.
I'm like, see ya. Six
Yeah.
generations of Mormonism. I'm out.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're an astrology person, now you know everything you need to know about us.
Yeah, and I
If
would love
you're
to hear
not,
from you if you know anything else about what this means for me, because like I
yeah,
said, I'm not an expert in this area, but I find it so interesting.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what
On
I
a
find,
more,
go ahead.
oh, sorry. No,
No,
keep going.
I was just going to say what I find even more interesting is Myers-Briggs, which
Yeah.
is something I know a little bit about. I would say it gets me fired up a little bit more than astrology. Maybe I'm not exactly sure why. I love that
Yeah.
Myers-Briggs is so mind-blowingly accurate.
Yeah.
I got, I mean, it's been floating around forever in my world, but
Mhm.
when I was living in Melbourne in the beginning, I was living with someone and she was a Myers-Briggs expert, and she could guess people's what do you call it? Sign? Type?
Type, yeah, like
Mhm.
the acronym.
Yes, she
Or-
could guess it after knowing someone for a short amount of time, and it just blew my mind how spot on
Yeah.
she always was. And of course,
Wow.
it describes, mine describes me. So,
Yeah,
what
same.
is yours, Claire? What is your
So
Myers-Briggs type?
my Myers-Briggs, mine is INFP-T. So, INFPs are energized by time alone, introverted. So that's the first letter. And then focus on ideas and concepts rather than facts and details, intuitive. So that's the N. And then make decisions based on feelings and values rather than like facts and statistics would be the other way. So that's me. So feeling. And then prefer to be spontaneous and flexible rather than planned and organized, perceiving, which is hilarious because I like while we were doing this, I'm like, oh my God, we are like the perfect team because we like
Yep,
fill in the gaps, you know? Um,
so true.
so it's like the personality type is also called the healer because of their sympathetic idealism and gentle compassion for other people. Other nicknames are the thoughtful idealist or the mediator. So yeah, and I definitely that super rings true. Like I
Yes,
can
love
be
it.
extroverted, but I'm not gaining energy from it.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
spending it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Janice, you are
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a little opposite in some ways. My
yeah.
Myers-Briggs type is ENFJ.A. So that
Yeah.
means extroverted intuitive. ENFJ indicates a person who is energized by time spent with others, which is the extroverted part, the E part, who
Mhm.
focuses on ideas and concepts rather than facts and details, intuitive. And I definitely believe that about myself,
Yeah.
who makes decisions based on feelings and values, feeling, and who prefers to be planned and organized rather than spontaneous and flexible. Judging. I'm so adventurous. So at first, on the surface, that wouldn't make sense for me, but in actuality, 1,000%, even though I'm adventurous, I plan everything.
Everything's planned.
ENFJs are sometimes referred to as teacher personalities because of their interest in helping others develop and grow.
Right.
Yes. So I love that as a coach.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think like we're similar in the like kind of wanting to help others aspect, which the quiz like completely picks up on. But then we kind of have a different method in doing it, you know? And I think on a podcast, it's really helpful to have like teacher and healer like together. And then, it's also on like a business side of things. It's very helpful for me to have someone making plans and giving structure to my like, oh, this feels good right now, let's do this,
Yeah, well, that's also helpful because running a podcast like this one, there's always so much to do, and it's nice to work with someone who's able to sometimes jump in last minute and do things, which throws me off completely when I have to do something that's not on my list. So I just get just generally thrown off. So it is a very, very, very good combination. I definitely love it. Also, just having introverted and extroverted personalities is a good match, I think, rather than us both coming on here and being loud and
exactly.
So that's us. I also think it's interesting that they're perfect fits, like they're puzzle pieces.
Exactly.
Two perfect puzzle pieces.
We match up where it counts, and then we like balance each other in other places. So it is a great
very true
collaboration between the two of us.
It's working so far.
So, 1 year down.
Yes,
pretty much in like a few weeks.
Year.
All right, so now you've got a general idea of the both of us. We're gonna kind of switch off on questions that it wouldn't make much sense for both of us to answer. So like because we do come from different backgrounds and stuff.
Quite different backgrounds, which is another very interesting thing about us. So let's get one question out of the way, a question that I have for Claire that I know she's going to love talking about. So I don't know if anyone's picked up on this or not, but Claire's a cat person.
I mean, maybe there's been an episode where I haven't mentioned it, but
if you've mentioned it, it's kind of been in passing. But I don't think, so this is a big part of your life. I know that. So obsessed. Can you tell us who your cats are and how they came into your family?
Okay, so this is my favorite thing to do. And just so you know, if you guys have cats or dogs, I am the person you can show 100 pictures of them to, because I'll do the same thing back to you. So I am perfectly okay with you bragging about your pets to me. I do not mind. So on that note, let me brag about my pets. So my cats, it's River, Trickle, and Delta. So they have a water theme.
Oh, I actually didn't pick up on that. Okay.
Yeah. Delta had a little bit of a PR issue in 2021 with the Delta variant. But I think we're getting past that now. But yeah, so River was my first cat that I adopted.
When was
they're
that?
all adopted. So I've had her about 4 years now. And she's just a superstar. So I was working at an animal shelter at a time, so these three are a byproduct of that work environment of seeing cats every day and eventually taking them home. So River, she at the time I was doing the social media for the shelter, so I like was in the like front office area and was getting ready to go take pictures of new animals who had just come in so we could promote them. And a lady came in with this kitten in her like carrier. And she was talking to the girl at the front desk and was like, "Oh yeah, isn't she amazing?" And she opened up the front and River was like there and she like struck a pose and like was like confident and everything. I think she was like 3 months old at the time. And I was like, "Wow, that's a great cat." And I'm like, she didn't seem upset. The person didn't seem upset. So I figured she was there for boarding because we did like people could keep their animals there temporarily. So I'm like, "Oh, cute cat." And so I went back to take pictures. And then one of our other employees came back with River in her little carrier to take her into the intake area. And I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And I walked straight from the back to the shelter office and I'm like, "That's my cat."
If it's meant to be, it will be.
So she spent a full like 4 hours at the shelter.
Oh my
This poor
God.
abused kitten. She's
Who's
not really
behind
abused.
you?
This is Trickle behind
Okay.
me.
And I must apologize because I house sit for Claire and I forgot, so I'm sorry, but
No, it's okay.
I'm not a cat person, so
it's all right. I will be enough cat person for both of us.
Yes.
So River in her original name was Rebel, which was very much more fitting because turned out she was relinquished because she was terrifying their dog and their dog stopped eating because she was so pushy.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So she's been on the dodo. There's like a viral video of her playing with my old dog. So if you've seen River playing with this dog on the dodo, then yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then Trickle, she was just adorable and
She's beautiful.
very loud and yeah, she just like she ended up coming home and then I was like, "Okay, 2 cats. That's good enough. Like I will not be adopting a 3rd cat. That's crazy." And
it's crossing some type of line, but
yeah, I'm like, "You're officially a cat lady." Like 2 cats is normal. 3 cats, you're a social deviant. Yeah, and so Delta is my 3rd cat and she's like slightly cross-eyed and she's like there's maybe some things wrong with her. She's got like no social skills, so the other 2 are kind of annoyed with her most of the time. Oh my God, they're playing right now. They can feel the vibes. But yeah, so she was injured and so she lived in my coworker's office for a while.
Okay.
And someone else was going to adopt her and I visited her every break I had because she was like so adorable. And then it fell through with the other coworker who was going to adopt her and she was going to go out onto the floor for the public. And I was like, I guess I have 3 cats now because I can't do it. And yeah, and I totally had that breakdown moment of being like bringing her home and they were all like hissing at each other. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be single forever. No one's going to want I'm now a cat lady. Like no one's going to want to date me. Yeah, but fortunately that was not true.
That is not true. That has not been a problem.
Yeah.
All right. And
Anyway.
this is a big part of your lifestyle, would you say?
Oh, yeah. So, the cats are a huge part of my lifestyle. Like I just took up like I don't know how many minutes talking about them. So I'm very sorry.
No, I mean I think it's interesting, big part of your life. So I mean take as long as you want. What else do you want to tell us about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess something that's interesting about like growing up, because I'm gonna ask you about growing up as my first question. And like how you grew up is that my mom's a dog trainer, so I always grew up with dogs. I never had cats. I always thought I was a dog person. But now I realize it's a false dichotomy. You can be both. But yeah, so like that was a really that informs actually a lot of like my perspective on things because you know, growing up, like, and knowing how to train animals and how to like read their body language and understand like positive reinforcement, it informs a lot of like my research on psychology and everything, because I have another lens I'm putting it through of just
Mhm.
like biology, how organisms learn, not just like humans. So that's a fun,
Mhm.
like, I guess, extra tidbit about me.
Yeah,
But
animal family.
yeah, definitely. So, but you had a different experience growing up.
Mhm.
I'd love to, well, like, have you tell people about your experience growing up in like the, would you call it the Mormon culture
I would
or
call it the Mormon
okay.
culture.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
1,000%. I mean, when I mean, to answer the question, like, what was it like growing up Mormon? I mean, it was just my entire world. It was,
Yeah.
and oh, man, I mean, looking back, I now realize just how um different it was from how a lot of people around me grew up.
Yeah.
But I'm from Arizona. I was raised in Mesa, and then and a smaller community, which are both like very, very heavily Mormon. And I would say, as far as what it's like growing up Mormon, it's very regulated. Like everything is prescripted, everything is set according to
Yeah.
your religion. Absolutely. I would say I felt really controlled growing up. I did not have really any non-Mormon friends. I went to a high school that was run by Mormons, and that was
Oh
95%
my
Mormon.
God.
Yes. And it takes up a lot of your time as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I wasn't really involved in very many non-church activities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, and even at the time, I felt very boxed in by it,
Yeah.
for sure. I didn't feel like I was free to make a lot of my own decisions, and that was not really good for my personality type.
Yeah.
And I left when I was 18, partially because of that.
Yeah. And if, I mean, I'm going to ask you follow-up questions, but I just want to say
Okay.
if someone listening is like, oh my God, I need to know more. Janice was a guest on Christina Carlson's podcast and
Mhm.
really talked about like your whole, I mean, obviously you can't do your whole history, but like it was very much really in depth, and I like listening to it. I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. So yeah, if
Yeah,
this is
so
piquing your interest, go check out that
yeah, I can link
podcast
to it in the
Janice
show
did.
notes,
Yeah.
because I mean, there's many sides to growing up Mormon and leaving Mormonism. And so that
Yeah.
episode was all about how I left the Mormon church, which
Yeah.
is kind of a crazy, interesting story in and of
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
But this, as far as growing up, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I don't,
Yeah.
that's such a hard question for me to answer.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, one thing that stands out to me is like, you're doing breakup coaching
Mhm.
now. We've talked about things you want to do in the future and things you want to learn, like along like sexology
Mhm.
type
Yeah.
track. And
Mhm.
that, when you were in high school going to like a Mormon high school, like,
Yeah.
did you have any idea that this was in your future?
I did not know that sexology was in my future. No, I did not. I can safely say no. I when I was in high school, I was extremely ambitious, and I knew that I was going to go on to do something other than parenting,
Mhm.
which that is kind of the track for girls. There's a very, very, very strong focus on homemaking and on being a mother and being a stay-at-home mom, and that's
Mhm.
really how they socialize girls and how they bring us up, and it's the things that they teach us. And
Yeah.
I always knew that I was not going to take that path. I thought at the time that I was going to get married and have kids. I
Yeah.
also couldn't fathom leaving the church when I was in high school. That wasn't really a thought of mine. But I thought that I would either have a career first or have a career in conjunction with having kids. But I wanted to be an English professor or an actor. I had no clue that I was going to go down this path. And I mean, that's partially because I was not exposed to much. I mean, I think I wanted to do teaching or acting because it's what I was around a lot. It was hard for me to see outside of it. And I don't know if I can really make a connection between my interest in sexology and being Mormon. If there is one, I haven't uncovered it yet. It is a very strict religion when it comes to sex. Sex outside of marriage is, forbidden. It's considered to be the worst thing that you can do, even, worse than committing other types of crimes. There's eternal blessings that you can lose if you have sex outside of marriage. And so I'm just bringing up just because it might be of interest to people that, I came from that culture, and now I'm very sex
and
positive.
Now you're very free in that area.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, maybe it's because I was repressed growing up, but I don't think so. I just know that when I got to college and when I left the church, when I started learning about these things, I was just immediately drawn to them. So I suppose it was always in me. I just needed to find it.
Yeah. And like when like how old were you when you left the church, kind of officially or like semi-officially, or however that's marked?
I was fairly young. So a lot of people have left the Mormon faith in the last 5 years or so. I was out like 15 years ago. So I was quite early on in college. I probably did my resignation when I was 21 or so. And that's because I went to a Mormon school for my first year and a half of college, and it was a huge disaster. And so I was so
like, we laugh now, but it was
not
difficult.
A happy time in my life at all. It was one of the darkest times in my life, probably. And I kind of knew that I had to get out, and I just knew it wasn't going to happen. And so I left quite early on. So then I got to go through most of college as a fresh non-Mormon, which was extremely exciting to be in college, around non-Mormons for the first time, learning all of these things about life and the world for the first time, also newly non-Mormon. It was a very, very exciting, happy time for me.
So a question just occurred to me because I didn't watch a lot of TV growing up, so I wouldn't get like a lot of references and stuff. Did you have that same sort of experience where you're like, oh my God, I haven't watched this TV show that everyone else got to watch, and you finally get to watch it? Or like the social aspect of like being around non-Mormons then in college?
I actually wouldn't say that I relate to that, oddly. I would say that we also did not watch a lot of TV growing up, really, like, at all. It was crazy strict. Like my parents wouldn't let us watch Friends.
Oh my God.
Because there was a gay character. I mean, which it's just stupid.
That's like the worst. That's like the least of
it is such a sexual
that's the
show.
Thing you chose.
Yes. So I also didn't watch a lot of that and pop culture-y stuff, and also hardly any movies, because we're really only allowed to watch PG movies, occasionally PG-13, like if you got permission. So I would say once I left, I was more just excited about doing all of that. When I was at the Mormon school, sometimes I would stay up like almost all night watching TV.
Yeah, because you're like, wow.
I was allowed to stay up late. I was allowed to watch TV, and I just really enjoyed it. But I would, I know, I'm not kidding. I mean, my roommates thought that I had like insomnia or something because I would stay up watching TV. But I wouldn't say that I felt like I didn't get references and things like that. But I will say that I enjoyed being of the world very much.
Wow.
I think also we have a really strict dress code as Mormons, and growing up in Arizona, I wasn't really allowed to wear shorts. I wasn't allowed to wear tank tops,
which sounds like the worst thing in Arizona.
Oh boy, wearing jeans all through summer. And so I think that was one thing that I loved, and to this day wearing tank tops I can't get enough of. And I'm
the shoulder.
Yes, they're just so comfortable. So it was a very, very freeing experience, and something that I look back on with a lot of joy, for sure. It was hard as well. You give up quite a bit when you leave such a high demand religion, and I still haven't gotten some of that back, but definitely was the right thing for me.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I'm like knowing, I mean, there's a lot more details, but guys, like Janice is literally the strongest person ever.
Thank you.
Like you've literally made your own way like since then, and like we'll get into it now, but you're not like skimping on life experiences. Like
no, I really yes, when it comes, that's a good way of putting it. Yes, for sure.
Like you've lived.
I have. I got there in the end. A few bumps along the way, for sure. Exactly. But yes, got there in the end.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much for asking me about that. I am still very interested in Mormon culture. I love talking about my experience. I love still, learning about my history, and something I enjoy talking about. So thank you.
Yeah, and it's a good perspective too, like just thinking about it. Like I think if you have come from like a high demand religion, and you're like working through breakup issues right now, like I think you'd be a great coach for someone who's like in that situation, because like I've gone to church maybe twice in my life. And like, so I have no idea, but Janice like does. Like you have like actual lived experience that's going to help you like be able to see like those specific struggles that perhaps someone could be like dealing with alongside their breakup that I might not even like know to think about.
Like, I would love to speak with anyone who's leaving a high demand religion, and certainly anyone who has left or planning on leaving Mormonism. I'd love to connect with you.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
So Claire, let's get back to you.
Okay.
If people knew that you are into cats, they might not know that you're also a horse person.
I'm a horse girl.
It's such an interesting hobby. I really don't know very many equestrians.
Yeah.
So how did you end up horseback riding? It doesn't even seem like so you're from Santa Barbara originally.
Well, so I was in Santa Barbara for college. And then afterwards. So I spent about 8 years there. Okay. But I grew up in like suburban LA. So basically,
is that how you got into horses?
I lived near the Kardashians.
Okay, gotcha.
I wasn't in their neighborhood, but like that was kind of the thing. It was like one of those places where you have like very, very wealthy people along with like normal people.
All right.
So that was kind of like my high school experience, was like you'd see a beat up Corolla parked next to a Maserati in the student parking lot. So I had a very different experience, but I was very clueless. I had no idea if people were like drinking and doing drugs in high school.
Oh, interesting.
No idea.
I also didn't, because I don't think people in my high school did that.
Okay, so there you go. I mean, after the fact, like people definitely were. Like
Yeah.
I found out. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, things make so much sense now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of that's just extraneous information, but I started horseback riding like 6 months old with like a
Oh,
mommy and me class. Like it was basically the moms or the dads would take their little kids and walk beside them on the horse, and that's like, oh my God. I seriously, I mean, one possible path I could end up going down is doing equine assisted therapy, because horses are incredible healers. They're very like sensitive, and you can't fake things around horses.
okay.
So they're flight animals, they're herd animals. So everything about them is like sensing energy shifts in the people and other animals around them, and
Mhm.
then like reacting off of that. And so um that's just like, it's such a huge part of like my history, is like spending hours and hours at the barn. Like I'd literally get dropped off 8 a.m. and picked up at 6 p.m.
That's
and just like ride
really
like 6
cool.
horses in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and
But
it's just
was this a common thing where you lived? Because this is
not really.
so unique.
Yeah, there were a couple like really big barns that made it a lot easier because I didn't own a horse or anything. So I was like the girl who would just like beg, steal, or borrow a horse.
Mhm.
So, I'd be like, oh, a lot of people like schedules get busy and stuff. And so horses need exercise. And so I would like exercise their horses for them and stuff. But yeah, so it wasn't like super common with all of my friends and
Okay.
everything.
Mhm.
But like uh there were definitely lots of people my age at the barns. It's just maybe like my school friends didn't get it
Uh-huh.
or do it. But yeah, like uh, horses are so big that like a lot of people are scared of them.
Yeah,
But
is it hard?
Um, well, I mean, it's a workout for sure. And I
Okay.
think if you don't know what you're doing, I think that learning curve might be hard. But like the thing is that they're very honest. If you figure out and you learn how to read horses and how to like communicate with them, honestly, it's super, super safe, because like nothing's gonna like sneak up on you, like they're not gonna trick you, or
Yeah,
and
completely.
yeah, I'd always like felt a lot safer like on a horse, because like the horse doesn't want to fall over if it can help it, whereas like on a bike it's like all up to me, like if I
Yeah.
mess up we're done.
Uh-huh.
Whereas like on a horse it's like the horse is like, no, let's not do that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I I love horses, and like equine assisted therapy is like super interesting to me because they pick up on emotions so much. So like basically what that means is that a therapist can take a client out into the pasture with a horse and talk about things that they're working through, and that person um gets to learn about like how well they're like regulating their emotions by how the horse is acting around them. Because if you're faking it and you're really actually very angry inside,
Mhm.
horse is going to run away from you. It's not going to want you to pet it. But yeah, you kind of oh yeah, that's the other thing horseback riding brought, is that when shit is hitting the fan, you have to keep calm, because if you start like if your heart rate starts spiking and you start freaking out, the horse is going to way more like lose their shit. And so like my longtime best friend, who's actually in Denver as well, she is super into riding as well, and we talk about it all the time because we're like, has this impacted our like the way we deal with stuff now? Because like hard conversations, stressful times at work, like traumatic events,
Mhm.
we're like cool as a cucumber, and
Okay.
then like later that day we're like, holy shit. You know, like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not how
so
I am at all. I'm like,
so
I
it's
can't
very
take it.
much like delayed processing, which
Huh.
can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. But being raised that way where it's like, keep calm, don't freak out, and you're
Oh,
like
because of the
being yelled at
dogs
not
too.
to.
Right,
So
because you have to
it's
be calm
interesting.
to. You probably saw your mom doing that while she was training pups.
Yeah. So,
Interesting. I'm gonna learn how to horseback ride over
oh
Christmas.
my God.
So,
Yes. Oh
yeah,
my
you'll have to
God.
tell me how to prep.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I have so much advice for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
To
like,
be continued.
yeah, you'll be great. You'll be great. You'll love it. And they're, I think you'll be in hands that are used to helping people like start.
I
So
think so.
yeah,
I think so as
that's
well. Well,
important.
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can keep that going, even though we're in. Well, there's opportunities to
Yeah.
horseback ride in Denver, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing a lot of like 60-hour weeks,
Yeah, doing
so I
some
haven't
other
been
stuff,
focusing on it.
right? Claire is
I'll
busy
get
with
back
other
to
things.
it.
In fact, there's some stables out on the way to Parker that I drove past
Yeah.
last weekend, and it seemed like those were for leisure purposes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I will be getting back into it. If you're in the Denver area and you know a good barn, like let me know because I will come and
So
visit. And yeah.
fascinating.
Awesome. So I hinted at this earlier, Janice,
Okay.
but how many places have you lived?
Well, so I mean,
Or
I'd have
where
to
have you
count them.
lived?
Okay. So, I love that this is so interesting to you.
It is.
Well, it's just, I think it's just because it's my life. I don't realize
Yeah.
sometimes how insane it's been. Okay. So I'm an Arizona girl. That's where I
Yeah.
was raised. And then after high school, I lived in Idaho for a little while,
Mhm.
and that was when I was going to BYU. And then I dropped out because I was
'Cause
miserable
F
there.
that.
It's not,
Um
yeah, not for me. Okay, so then I went back to Arizona, and I went to ASU for college. And then I left Arizona and I lived in New York City for quite a while with my partner.
Yeah.
And then when I got divorced, I made the mistake of going back west. Didn't want to live in Arizona anymore. And so then I tried California. So I did move there, but it
Yeah.
was very short-lived
Yeah.
because it was also not for me.
Yeah, going from New York to do you mind saying which city it is? I don't want to
No,
give
I
it
don't
away
mind at
for
all. I
California.
don't mind at all. It was so I was living
Lazy
in Santa Cruz for a
Santa
while,
Cruz, yeah.
and that's because I had traveled a lot to Santa Cruz. I had gone there for spring break a number of times. I absolutely love it. I love Big Sur. I love the area. It's a fantastic place to vacation for sure. And I was divorced when I was living in New
Yeah.
York, and so I thought being in a sunny area and near the beach would like help me heal from that. And I don't know what I was thinking. It was very, very, very misled decision. And yeah, I'm a city person, just
Yeah,
plain and simple.
you are.
So then I moved back to New York. And then I met my next partner. And then I moved from New York to Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
And then we moved from Frankfurt to London. And that was very short-lived
Oh my
because
God.
he was an alcoholic and he relapsed when we were in London. And so I escaped London and stayed a very short time in Arizona again. And then I moved from Arizona to Australia, and I stayed in Australia for over 5 years.
Wow.
And in the middle of that, I lived in Bali for 4 months. So I do consider myself having lived there. Yeah, 4 freaking months.
Yeah.
And then I moved from Melbourne to Denver.
Damn.
So I have hopped all over. I would say I probably wouldn't advise that as a lifestyle. I think that I probably gave up some opportunities and a bit of stability living that way. I got there in the end for sure. And
Yeah.
obviously had some very interesting experiences, and traveling is still a passion of mine.
Yeah.
I would probably say to try and find a base.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I took the harder path
Yeah.
and it worked out for me, but wow, it was
Yeah.
you know, yeah, sometimes the hardest things are the greatest teachers, but also, if you could, I don't know, because I think there's like a romanticism of like this vagabond, like
Mhm.
laptop lifestyle,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I think that I think for a little while after my divorce, I was just kind of lost and just
yeah,
didn't really know what to do with myself. And so I thought, for instance, moving to California would somehow facilitate that. And it just didn't. It's not really how it works. I had a lot going for me when I was in New York, and I wish that I would have realized that and appreciated it a little bit
yeah,
more. And then certainly I don't think that moving to another country to be with a man who is showing you all the red flags that you could possibly show a person is a good
right.
decision. I don't think that I am grateful for that experience. Yes, it helped me learn a lot, but it's not something that I would do over for the lessons. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Nice.
Yes. Mhm.
But you were also you still are a very big traveler as
I
well.
am. Yes.
Do you have like recommendations for our listeners? Like where do you try to get people to visit if they haven't?
That's such a good question. So yeah, besides all of the places that I've lived, I've also traveled quite extensively, even more
Mhm.
extensively than that. And as far as where I would recommend people go, I really, really still to this day love Big Sur. I think it's a breathtaking place to visit. So anyone in America, go there. I also, even though I've been a world traveler, I still really recommend Sedona.
Oh,
And then as far as international travel, I think Bali is a great place to visit. I think,
yeah.
it's very, very different. It's inexpensive. It's very interesting. There's lots to do. The food is great. So I would say, yes, I go there. And I love the Caribbean. I would say Jamaica's a great place to visit as well.
Wow,
Mm.
that's awesome. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I
We
think
need
so
to
too.
have a Bali retreat.
You know what? It could be in the X-Files future.
That would be
Wait,
cool. I would be
if
up
that
for
would
that.
interest people, let us know, because if it's of interest to people, we might end up doing it. But I,
Yeah.
someday would really like to hold retreats for, recently divorced women, and maybe it'll be in Bali. Who knows?
Yeah.
If you do travel to Bali, you're welcome to hit me up for suggestions and questions on planning your trip, because yes, I lived there once for 4 months, and then a second time I spent 6 weeks there. So I definitely know the lay of the land, and I'm actually hoping to get back in 2022 for another
Ooh,
visit.
yeah. Yeah, it's quite a bit further now than it was from Australia, because I know it's like
Yeah.
a really popular vacation spot for Australians because it's just like a quick hop over.
Everyone goes there for the winter. I mean, it was extremely common. So many people would just, pop over there. It's a
Oh my
3-hour
God.
flight from Melbourne.
Okay.
And so what that would make it 15 hours, 12 hours from
Yeah.
here. But I think it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
it's just a fascinating place to be. And like I said, you can do it on a budget, which I think is kind of cool.
That's the best.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
When I was over there the last time, I was really broke. I was there waiting for my visa to get approved. And still I had a very life-changing experience. And so now I'd like to go back with cash in my wallet and,
Yeah.
enjoy it even more.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Good question. Thank you. So, Claire, would you like to get a little personal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're a breakup podcast. We talk a lot about our breakups. We don't talk a lot about our current relationships.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that a lot of listeners know that you are in a relationship.
I am.
And it's a happy one.
Yes. Yes,
That'd be
it is.
a little crazy if you were on here talking about healthy relationships and you weren't in
Yeah.
one. But I know your partner. I know that the two of you are very happy. What would you be comfortable sharing about your current relationship?
Yeah. So, um, I think the thing I end up bringing up with like my current clients the most and seems to be like the most topical is this idea of like immediate spark because with my current boyfriend, so he's, we've been dating a year and a half now.
Getting
Yeah,
serious.
it's serious. Yeah, so like I didn't have that like immediate spark with him. I was very
Okay.
much like, like I could, I wasn't sure. I knew him immediately that he was into me.
Oh,
I was
that's
just
so
like, oh
sweet.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and he kind of just like won me over by like consistently showing up as like a really good person that like I really like admired and respected and wanted to be around someone who like thought the way he thought and was the type of friend to his friends that he was. And it just like very much came from like his who he is as a person. And it was very much like, okay, I'll give it a chance, even though there's not like this crazy, like, you know, fireworks and stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
And those like grew over time.
Mhm.
And like, it's now that it's like a year and a half in, it's like the chemistry is stronger than it's been with, anyone.
Yeah, that's a good sign. I
Yeah,
mean, really, that's what you want is for things to grow, not for it to be
exactly.
such a whirlwind in
Yeah,
in the beginning that you can't sustain it, and
yeah,
that you're being driven by just pure hormones and chemistry
exactly.
rather
Yeah.
than logic.
Yeah,
You know?
because I've done that
Mhm.
before and it's, it's different. It either fades
Yeah.
and then you're left with, oh, I don't actually really like who this person is,
Hmm.
or it like literally combusts and
Yeah.
there's nothing like sustainable there. It's just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I really want everyone to know. I mean, we do talk about this a lot, don't go on just attraction alone.
Yeah.
And, I would say avoid the whirlwind experience. And, Claire is speaking from experience,
Yeah.
Would you refer to it as a slow burn?
It's definitely a slow burn. Yeah.
That's
It's a
great.
slow burn and it
Mhm.
just like yeah, I think um I I think an important thing is that I like who I am with him.
Great.
Which is a really important thing that I want for everyone because I think you can um that's a lot of what it's about,
Mhm.
there's lots of people who are going to be like um a good fit for you and have the attraction and all of that. And so, like, why not narrow it down by thinking about, like, do I like who I am with this person? Because every person's going to bring out something different
Mhm.
in
What does
you.
he bring out in you that you like?
Um,
Hot seat time.
I know there's so many things. I mean, like he brings out like a gentler side of me. I can
Okay.
be kind of I don't know. I can be kind of like a perfectionist in some ways,
Mhm.
and like I can be judgmental of people,
Okay.
and he's very much not. Like he sees, he wants to believe that people are like better than they're acting, you know?
Mhm.
It's interesting. So
Yeah, he's a
I
good
love
guy.
that. Yeah.
He has my approval. So people listening who are hearing that you guys have been together a year and a half would perhaps assume that the two of you live together. And something that I've often said to Claire about her relationship, especially considering that she just moved to Denver and he was already living here,
Yeah.
is I think that it's really great that you do not live together.
Yeah.
And especially because the other relationships that you've talked about on the show, you cohabitated with your partners, right?
Yeah, and quite early too in the
Okay.
relationship.
Mhm.
And so that was something that I didn't want to do this time. I feel
Why
like I
not?
finally well, because I I lived alone after my breakup with my ex-fiance.
Yeah.
And, at first it was like the worst thing ever. And then I really fell in love with it. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, I know the
now I
feeling.
love it. And
Yeah.
so I also like I realized I was making that decision out of like convenience a lot of the time.
Mhm.
And I decided, you know what? Like I'm not making decisions out of convenience anymore. I can support myself. I can have my own place. I can do
Yes.
my own thing. And it was important for me to like have enough time and enjoy the time before living together. Like we definitely plan to in the future,
Mhm.
but like the timing has to be right with like,
Yeah.
contracts and everything, rental agreements,
Mhm.
but also like once you're living together, hopefully you don't stop,
Yeah.
so like let's enjoy the time.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
huge decision.
yeah.
I'm all for living together, but yeah, I wish sometimes that people would maybe think it through just a little bit
Yeah.
more
Or
as
just make
someone
it
whose life has been ruined by doing it. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and just like set yourself up for success. It's kind of like having I don't know, it's just having foresight and being like, okay, is this actually going to be making the relationship easy on the two of us? Because relationships aren't easy.
Yeah.
And so like don't rush this decision. Don't do it just because like I know during COVID, there were a lot of people who moved in together because it was like you might not see them if you didn't.
Yes, I
And so that's very difficult. But like, I don't know, just giving you guys the space to like actually learn about each other before there's all this pressure.
I also think though that it's so healthy to have separate lives and
Yeah.
separate things and separate schedules and activities. And sometimes when you live together, I mean, COVID being the perfect example,
Yeah.
people really merge their lives,
Yeah.
and that can actually hurt relationships
Yeah, and
severely.
that was my typical mojo. I would
Yeah,
just like
same.
become enmeshed with
Yeah.
people,
Hmm.
and um sometimes that wouldn't last very long because we were very different people, and eventually I couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, and like
Hmm.
consciously being like, I'm not gonna do the same thing that I always do
Yeah.
over again.
Hmm. In
Yeah.
fact, one of our questions was if our past breakups affect our current relationships. And, you're the perfect example of it directly affected
Yeah.
the decisions that you made with this
Yeah.
man. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Past breakups definitely affected how I approached this. But also, I think one of the questions we got too was, does being a breakup coach affect our relationship? Or like, I don't know, maybe you could speak to dating. I know you
Yeah.
haven't been like
Mhm.
focusing on dating, but you have
Right.
been on some dates. But
Yeah.
yeah, do
Well,
they find out you're a breakup coach? Does that intimidate
I
people?
would say that I'm quite open about that
Hmm.
for sure. I think that though my more basic answer about how being a breakup coach affects my current relationships is that I decided to take a break from relationships and kind of practice what I preach.
Yeah.
And that is that I think that you should get really, really comfortable and stable in the relationship that you have with yourself first. And I've taken time to do that. I'm new in Denver, and I wanted, if you can tell by how many moves I had in my adult life, you might be able to tell that I lived in a lot of chaos for a really long time. I had some really good experiences when I was in Melbourne, but a lot of instability, a ton of chaos, a lot of ups and downs. It was very tumultuous for me in a lot of ways. And when I decided to stop doing that to my life and to give myself some balance, I realized that for me, that would also be taking a break from relationships. Because in the past, I've tended to kind of get lost in my relationships, to get very caught up in the romance. And when I moved to Denver, I really just wanted to focus on building a stable life for myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done.
I think that's amazing, because I think that's where like people struggle, is they're like, oh, it's like been so much chaos, and they don't see the fact that they actually have control over it. And that like a lot of times the chaos comes from our decisions, even if we feel like we have no choice. So
I took back that a lot of the chaos that I had when I was in Australia was because of, not being a resident, and having all of the big things in my life are kind of tied to other people, visas, housing, finances. And I realized that I needed to only rely on myself for everything if I was going to turn things around. And that would also mean not being in a relationship for a while. And that's what I'm always telling people on the show. That's what I'm always telling my clients. And so, yes, I want to be the type of person who is an example to others, and especially as a breakup coach.
Why did you choose Denver?
Oh, that's a good question that I wasn't expecting. So, I knew I was going to come back to America. I would have gone back to New York, to be honest. However, that was very inaccessible to me. I moved back to the States on a very, very limited budget. I did not have a job lined up, so I was just going to be living off the savings that I had for a while. I thought that Denver was very affordable compared to other places that I might go to. I know that the weather is quite good here. It's in the Southwest, which I'm, from Arizona. And so I knew culturally I would fit in here quite well. I do have a friend here that I stayed with for a month, but that didn't fully drive my decision to move here. I just thought that overall it ticked the most boxes for me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
I started from scratch, really, but Denver's a good place to do that. Oh, also I had visited here a few times, and it's just an easy place to be, is how I would describe Denver. It's very livable. I wouldn't say that I would, will definitely never leave Denver. I'm not sure.
We're very happy here, so
I am very happy. I don't know if it's cosmopolitan enough for me, but right now I'm just gonna keep writing it out right now. I have no plans to move, but I also am not like, I don't know for sure that I'm permanent here, but who knows. I do know that if I do move again, it will be well thought out.
Yes. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so we're going to enter into the lightning round that are questions for like the two of us. If you could go back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self and then talk to your 22-year-old self.
So we got asked 22 specifically.
So you're feeling 22. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Go ahead.
Okay. So 18-year-old self, I'd say it gets easier. That would be my big tip for her. 22-year-old self, I'd be like, stop only considering other people's decisions in your life path. Because the thing I was really freaking out about at the time was I can't be an English major because I'll never make any money, and I'll just like live in poverty and never get a job.
Live in poverty.
And so after years of trying to do any other major but English, I finally was like, fuck it. And I did my English major, and I am making money and I'm not living in poverty. So I'd be like, just do the thing you should do. And, so I had some good times along the way, but those would be my rapid fire answers.
Okay. So if I were to go back and talk to my 18-year-old self, I would say things are going to get better for you and you're going to have an amazing life. I was in a really dark place when I was 18. This is when I was going to BYU. I did not want to be there. I felt like I had no say over anything that happened in my life. I did not feel in control of my destiny. I am feeling very emotional talking about it. I was just in a bad place. So I would have gone back and said, hang in there. You're going to have a really cool life someday. It's, it's not going to always be like this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And then I actually think I was in a pretty good place when I was 22. I was enjoying college. I was in a relationship. I was really focused. And I think what I would say to that person is, stay focused on your career, like make your career priority, like keep doing what you're doing now. Like you need to know how good this is right now. And then I would tell my 22-year-old self, also make being self-sufficient a priority, because that was a hard ass lesson that I had to learn in my 30s. So I would have told my 22-year-old self that's going to come in handy, girl. So
yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, because like if you learn self-sufficiency, what is the worst that can happen is that you end up having a partner that could support you, but you are both doing your own thing.
Exactly.
And you are together literally only because you like each other and not because there's any sort of like dependency.
Have tos.
Or,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, being self-sufficient and self-reliant has led to all of the good things that I have in my life right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more. So this is a good question. Do you have any productivity tips? Claire and I both work from home. We both run a podcast. We both have activities. She has a relationship. How do we make it all work? Claire, do you have any productivity tips?
Yes. I'm trying to not like talk about ones that everyone talks about, because there's like the Pomodoro method. That's a big one. Just look it up.
That works. It works.
Yeah, I personally, the best investment I ever made was a treadmill desk. I have ADHD, so that just like I'm like locked in there and I have to focus, and it's amazing. And it also, helps with just like brain chemistry, staying focused with ADHD. So there's that. And then I really like this app called Forest. I think it's like $2, but basically you start the timer and you can choose how long it is. And while the timer goes, a little tree grows in your forest. And if you check your phone and leave the app, your tree dies and it's just there in your forest. There's a dead tree. And so it's very like emotionally driven, which is great for me. I'm like, I can't kill this tree. I can't check my phone right now.
Oh my gosh, how interesting.
Yeah, so I love that. I love that app. And also like know yourself and your own like productive times. For me, evening is actually a very productive time for me. It is not for Janice.
I have a physical reaction. I cannot just sit here and watch. I'm sorry. I'm shaking my head no.
You're like, oh God.
I should just listen. But I mean, that's good. Listening to your own natural rhythms.
Exactly. Yeah, as much as you can. I know like some people have work hours and things like that, but if you are working on a side hustle or something alongside your 9 to 5 or whatever, like you might not be someone who's in the 5 a.m. club, doing your side hustle before work. Like maybe actually the evening is the best time for you. So just like you don't have to take everyone's advice just because it's like the cool thing to do. at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I mean, 1,000%. I think if you are someone who thinks they're more of a day person, I do think that trying to get everything done when it's light out and then stopping when it's dark. I mean, unless you live in some area that it gets dark at 3, like Oxford, where I was for a little while. I started doing the daylight hours when I was in college, and that is because I had a partner who I enjoyed spending my evenings with. I always said, like, that time's for my man. and it actually helped me to be very productive because I knew that I would have to get everything done during the day. And so as a college student, I took a lot of classes. I always got really good grades, but it was because I'm just very focused during the day. So if you think that might work for you, I would say, challenge yourself to work within those hours. That's what works for me. I also think a really organized morning routine helps to set a very good pace for the entire day. I would say that my morning routine is a habit. I might even say I'm a bit addicted to it. So again, you're going to have to find what that means for you. But for the first hour and a half, I focus on my routine, and then that helps me be productive all day long. I keep a running to-do list of everything that I need to do. But above that list, and I always draw a cute little doily line, curly Q. And above that line, I put the 3 things that I must do that day, or that are my top priorities. Just 3. And then everything that's underneath the line are things that can possibly be done tomorrow, or that I would like to get done, or that I kind of try and knock out in between. And so when I do those things, I use my timer on my phone, and I might just set a timer for 7 minutes and knock out a bunch of emails, or pay a bill, run an errand. Well, I don't run an errand in 7 minutes, but so I set my timer for things. Also, I might set a timer when I do the dishes, so that I know I just have to spend 5 minutes doing it. And I also keep a goal tracker that I use every single day, going on years now. And that has about 20 different things that I like to get done each day. I probably sound a bit
I gotta
neurotic,
try that.
but I don't have it with me, but I can send you a picture of it. So I create them every 2 weeks. Down one aisle, I have things like meditate. I'm a step counter, so I put steps on it. Abs and arms, workout.
Arms look great, by the
reading.
way.
Thank you.
The Zoom shoulders are wonderful.
Thank you. It's because of my goal tracker. Stretching, things of that nature. And then every day I cross off if I do it or not. And the goal would be to get to the end of the 2 weeks and have as many boxes blacked out as possible.
I love that.
So I have done it without fail for a few years now. And that also just, I feel like it helps me. It keeps me motivated to do the things that generally make me feel good, like stretching being the perfect example. If I didn't have a box to check, I feel like that would be very, very easy to let go. But I am a much happier person when I stretch every day. So.
Yeah, I gotta try that because I use Asana for my whole life organization. So literally everything goes through Asana. But when I click the box, it goes away until the next day for the things that are daily tasks. So I don't get the satisfaction of seeing like a line of check marks of being like,
it helps.
I've been consistent. And that seems, that's like, ooh, dopamine. That sounds great.
Yeah, it is. I will send you a picture. I'm surprised that I haven't already. So so that those are the things that help me keep productive. And also this thing that I'm saying about writing down all the things you have to do, I really mean everything.
Everything.
A perfect example being that I was meant to do the description for today's episode, and I didn't put it on the list. And I didn't do it. I did it late because I've done it.
You
but
did
I did
it. Okay,
I
I'm like,
did it late because for whatever reason I hadn't written it down. And so little things like email this person, send this. I would say make sure it's written down. That's what helps me. Oh, and then another thing that helps me stay productive. Google Calendar.
Oh,
I put
yes.
as much as I possibly
Oh,
can
yeah.
on my Google Calendar. I look at it through the day. It helps me keep on track. I recommend
Yeah,
it for
Google Calendar is huge. Yeah, because I have like my reminders in there too. Because that's one thing where I stumble is I don't realize how much time my list is going to take. But if I'm putting it on the calendar, I can see like, oh, like this would be ludicrous to think I could get everything done. I'm actually going to have to schedule things out a few
yeah.
days
Mhm.
because it's like not gonna fit. So
Yeah.
that's huge, but it's funny because Google Calendar does this little tally thing where it's like you spend an average of this many hours in meetings. Mine is always like 5 or 6 hours because everything's a reminder and it thinks I'm in meetings the whole
Okay.
time,
Huh.
which
All
is
right. I
funny.
guess so I use my Google Calendar a lot, but I guess
Yeah.
I don't use that function because
Yeah, I'm like looking, maybe it's just one of them because I have multiple Google accounts, but like my generic one isn't saying it. So I'm wondering what happened. But anyway, so I mean, obviously obsessed with productivity. We could
a
probably
little
keep
bit. I
talking
have
about
to
it.
say, I
But
always, refer to myself as type A, and I mean,
yeah,
I really like being organized.
yeah,
I'm telling you, I mean, for me, discipline is my freedom. There's something
yeah,
about having a look at your life that really works
yeah.
for me. And as someone with lots of projects,
Oh,
I
yeah.
also like to get everything done.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I do work with some clients on productivity and organizing your morning
yeah,
routine and making your life like really work for you now that you're single
yeah.
again, and it's something that I really enjoy doing.
We had a ton of questions left, but we're running out of time. So
Mhm.
maybe we'll do this again. If you guys enjoy this episode and stuff, like maybe we'll try to prioritize it for like the next quarter. But if you
Yeah.
didn't like it, we won't. So
Well, so I will say for me, I have had a blast.
me
I
too.
really enjoyed this. I could actually go for another half hour or longer.
Yeah.
But so I would like to do it again, but our priority is our listeners. So, let us know what you
Yeah.
think. Let us know if you have follow-up questions for us. Come
Mhm.
to the Facebook group, maybe we can do a Q&A in there. So it's
Yeah.
breakups, broken hearts, and moving on. And
Awesome.
yep, as always, if you want to work with one of us cool cats, hit us up on Instagram.
Awesome. All
Yeah,
right,
this was
bye.
fun.
All right, bye.
I'm like, okay. Alrighty.
We will
Well,
talk to you later.
all right. Bye, everyone. Thanks so
We
much.
love you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you liked this episode, please help others find us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or by following the show on Spotify.
And if you'd like to connect more with us and learn about breakup coaching, find us on Instagram at X-Files Podcast.